Hello everyone, hope you are all well and you are all keeping safe. So today's lesson is going to be on functionalism and the family, and ultimately what we want to do by the end of the lesson is be able to answer a 20-marker question. So we're going to recap the functionalist perspective of the family, and then we're going to apply our knowledge to a 20-marker question. So first thing I'd like you to do, just to jog your memory on functionalism's view of the family, is to match up the key terms to their definitions. So under the definitions, all you have to do is write the letter of the key term you think it goes with. So pause the video here and have a go at doing that. Hopefully you've all had a chance to do that. Let's go through the answers. So the first one, division of tasks within the household between partners, is B, division of labour. The male who provides financial stability within the family is C, the breadwinner. The male's role in the family, he provides financial support, is D, instrumental role. Society is like a human body, is A, organic analogy. The female's role in the family, she provides emotional support, is E, expressive role. Family takes away stress and frustrations, is G, the warm bath theory. Society changes, the type of family that fits that society, and the functions it performs changes, is H, functional fit theory. And lastly, it occurs early in a person's life. This is where a person learns the basic norms and values of society, is F, primary socialization. So well done if you got all of those correct. If you didn't, that's okay. Just ensure that you do have the correct answers, so when you do go back on your notes, you have the right information. So ultimately, what we're working towards is answering this question here. So applying material from item B and from your own knowledge, evaluate the contribution of functionalist sociologists to our understanding of the family. Now, I know reading that, it might seem a bit daunting to you. You might feel a bit scared to answer this question, but honestly, don't worry. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to answer it. We're going to go through it and we're going to break it down. So please do not panic. So, like I said, let's break down the question. So we know in the question it says evaluate. Evaluate is a key word. It means that you have to criticize the theory that you are talking about. So in this case, you'll be talking about the functionalist theory, and you're going to use other theories to evaluate it. Okay, this is going to become more clearer as we go on through the lesson. So do not worry. So it's really helpful to know what examiners are actually looking for when they are marking your answers. So here I have the AQA specification up, and it's got the assessment objectives. And these are ultimately what examiners are looking for throughout your answer. So they're looking for your AO1, your AO2 and your AO3 skills. Your AO1 is you demonstrating knowledge and understanding of sociological theories, and you are actually understand what these sociological theories are saying. Then you are applying these sociological theories to a range of issues. So that's going to be your AO2, your application. Okay, and in this case, in this question, it's going to be applied to the family. Okay, then your AO3 is your analysis and evaluation. Now this is where people usually find it difficult. So there is a difference between analysis and evaluation. So analysis is where you are breaking down a concept and then you're relating it back to the question, whereas evaluation, you are actually critiquing the theory. So here I've given you a few analysis sentence starters that you can use, which will help you identify where you are actually analysing the theory. So this suggests, this proves, this demonstrates, this explains how, The suggestion here is that these are all examples of sentence starters that you can use and you should use throughout your answer. So for this question, you will need a introduction, 4 perk paragraphs, and then a conclusion. So in your introduction, you want to keep it brief and you want to just outline what your answer is going to be about. So here I have 2 versions of 2 different introductions, and what I'd like you to do is just have a read through them and decide which version you think is better and what version you would use in your own answer. So pause the video here and have a little read through and think about which version you would use. Hopefully you've all had a chance to do that. If you said version 1, I would agree. Version 1 really does outline what the answer is going to be about, also bringing in other theories such as Marxism and feminism, and is telling the examiner all the things that you will be touching on throughout your answer. Version 2 is really defining what functionalism is, which is good. However, it's not really outlining the topics that you will be talking about in your answer. So I would definitely go with version 1. So in your first paragraph, you can talk about parsons, and just by talking about parsons, you are demonstrating good knowledge and understanding. So that is going to be your AO1 already. Then you can talk about how Parsons argues the division of labour, so the different roles between men and women within the family, the warm bath theory, where he argues that the family provides emotional and releases stress. And then the functional fit theory, where he talks about the nuclear family, how it fits the needs of industrial society, and how extended family fits the needs of pre-industrial society. You must remember to criticise Parsons' theories. So there are a few questions there to prompt you and to help you actually criticise what Parsons was saying. So, can Parsons' division of labour argument be used in society today? How relevant is it today? Do men still have this role of being the breadwinner and the woman just stays at home, or has it changed? How could Young and Wilmot be used to critique Parsons' functional fit theory? Usually people make the mistake of just using another theory to critique, which is not really demonstrating good knowledge and understanding. So please try and avoid doing that. And all of that will be your AO3 skills. Okay, so please do not just say, oh, well, Marxists would say, the family promotes capitalism, because that's not really demonstrating that you can evaluate a theory. Okay, so please avoid doing that. In your second paragraph, you can critique the functionalist view of the family. Now here is where you would use Marxism. Okay, so I've given you an example of how you could start your paragraph, and this could be your AO1. So this is where you're demonstrating good knowledge and understanding of the theory. Then you can go on to write about Engels' perspective of the family. And again, this will be your AO2, where you're applying it to the question. And then remember to criticise Engels' view. Now, remember not to criticise with another theory. And again, I've given you some questions here to help you. So, what factors did Engels ignore? For example, were tribes equal between men and women? And by doing that, that's where you are gaining your AO3 skills. In your third paragraph, you are going to go back to the functionalist view. And here you can talk about Murdoch and the 4 functions of the family. So Murdoch argued that there was 4 functions that the family performed, which was sexual, reproduction, educational, and economic. So you would go on to explain each of those 4 functions, which again is going to be your AO2. And then remember to criticize Murdoch's theory. So what family does Murdoch predominantly focus on, and why is that a problem? Here is where you'll pick up your AO3. Then lastly, your 4th paragraph is going to be you going back to critique the functionalist view of the family. So here you're going to now use the feminist perspective. So you could start by again demonstrating good knowledge and understanding of the theory. That is going to be your AO1. So just like you did with the Marxist paragraph and the functionalist paragraph, you would do with the feminist paragraph. And then you go on to write about Anne Oakley's research that she did on housewives and explain how this is different from what the functionalists' view of the family is. Here is where you're going to again pick up your AO2 skills. Please remember to evaluate Anne Oakley's theory. Just like you did with all the other ones, you're going to explain why Anne Oakley's study might have been a problem. So Anne Oakley's study was done in the 1970s. How relevant is it now? So why might it be a problem that her study was done so long ago? Again, this is where you will pick up your AO3 marks. Then you're going to go on to your conclusion. So in your conclusion, you must come down on one side of the argument. You have to agree or disagree with the functionalist view of the family, and you have to explain why. So here I've given you a few sentence starters that you can use. So functionalism is the most useful because, and then you would go on to say why. Or functionalism is minimally useful because, and then you would go on to say why. Again, to a large extent, functionalism is useful because, and then you would say why. And then to a least extent, functionalism is useful because. So in your conclusion, you must agree or disagree with the theory that you are talking about. Okay, it's really important. And you can also come up with your own sentence starters as well. You haven't got to use these ones, but as long as you do come down on one side of the argument, you can use whichever sentence starter you like. Okay, so now it's your turn to answer this question. So please complete the whole of the essay question and then upload it to Show My Homework, okay, where I can actually mark it for you. Hopefully this video was useful, and hope you guys will be able to answer that question. So thank you for listening. Take care and bye.